The Ubben Lecture Series brings a variety of voices and a number of world-class speakers to a small town in Greencastle, Indiana. A lot of universities have lecture series, but this was a gift that was designed to take DePauw to new levels.
DePauw University, please welcome the 42nd President of the United States of America, William Jefferson Clinton.
Would you please help me welcome Dr. Jane Goodall to the stage?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Kimmel.
Please welcome Malala Yousafzai.
It's indeed a privilege to welcome Peyton Manning to DePauw today.
It's a real honor for our university, for Condi Rice to be here.
The 44th Vice President of the United States, Dan Quayle.
Nobel Peace Prize winner and former Prime Minister of Israel, Shimon Peres.
Mr. Leslie Odom Jr.
Please welcome to the stage, Jenna Fisher.
President Mikhail Gorbachev.
Mrs. Thatcher, we welcome you to DePauw University.
It was for me a great honor to be asked to come and address people of this very famous university, which has a reputation for excellence, because excellence is the only standard worth striving for. And its achievement applauds not only those who reach it, but it pulls up standards everywhere else.
You had two committed people, Tim and Sharon Ubben, who just wanted, they wanted students to experience things that were special and uncommon at a small college. And they did just that.
Well, I went to DePauw in 1954 to 1958. I went to DePauw because my brother did, and Tim went to DePauw because his sister did. Tim and I had one date our junior year at DePauw, and he never called again. He finally called 2 years later, and the rest is history. Tim had this philosophy, giving while living. DePauw was always accused of being under the bubble, and nobody knew where DePauw was. And Tim said, I want to change that. I want to bring the world to DePauw. We seemed to get them right as history was in the making. People would call all the time and say, how did you get Benzar Bhutto? How did she come? How did you get Liz Murray? How did you get these people?
I still encounter alumni who remember being in the room when Gorbachev spoke, or Margaret Thatcher spoke, Jesse Jackson. You had 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people in the gym. You had lines forming, people wanting to get in. Just special, special days.
I think it's so important to be involved in the country and in our history, and to read and educate yourself. It's very important to keep abreast of what's going on. And I hope the lectures did that.
These were impactful events that students buzzed about them for weeks and months and years afterwards. I don't think it's a stretch to say that anyone who's involved in campus life here, whether it's a student, faculty, staff, everyone is impacted by what the Ubbens have done.
After a lecture series, we just look at each other and hold hands and say, we did it. I mean, you look at the speakers we had. They're world leaders. They came to DePauw. Amazing.
When you step away from it, it's hard to comprehend the impact they've had on this institution. And I think their legacy is that relationships matter. And DePauw, at its very finest and at its very core, is relationships. It's about people who know each other, who care about each other, who remember each other, who reach out and keep those connections going.
I don't regret one bit of anything. My relationships at DePauw and the leadership and the friendships I've made with professors and teachers and presidents, I would do it all again.
For 40 years, we were able to raise the profile of DePauw, raise the spirits on campus, create dialogue that sometimes wound up in the national news, all from Greencastle, Indiana.
And it's been quite a show, quite a ride, quite a legacy for Tim. His legacy is still all over.
It's a good time to just say thanks, Sharon, and thank you, Tim, for having the foresight to do this. And it was as impactful as any lecture series in the country could be.